More than 15 countries have made it public that they want to use the XRP ledger to build a central bank digital currency. In 2022, the Digital Euro Association teamed up with Robobank, and they just revealed that they will be building the digital euro directly on the XRP ledger with the BRICS nations, who are a crazy great friend of theirs. BRICS is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Their central banks are looking into using XRPL for their own digital currencies, as well as for settling payments and holding funds across borders. The goal is to move away from the current SWIFT system, which is owned by the US, and toward a system that is more digital and autonomous so that each country can run its own system. Basically, XRP is about to take over as the world's main currency. Many experts think that XRP will reach over $8,000 by October 31st, when all of this is set to start happening. This is because it will soon be possible to make global payments, and a lot of people will start using it. As a matter of fact, things have gotten so bad that some analysts have even predicted that XRP will be worth $35,000. For example, the managing director of Dell Capital, a major venture capital firm, said that XRP could be worth between $10,000 and $35,000. He also said that XRP could become the world's bridge currency, and that everything is happening right now as CBDC XRP integration within the global central banking system officially begins to unfold. A huge, huge news that made the internet crash. That's why you need to hear it for yourself before we go into more depth. That could be fixed in a number of ways, but it could also be fixed by putting rules on top of everything else. But we know it's coming soon, right? Regarding imminent, I would be shocked if the SEC lawsuit was still going on in a quarter of that time. I believe that the current state of the world means we'll need a solution like XRP for liquidity reasons sooner rather than later. The question then is, okay, we've solved it magically. Where does the cost go? It's not hard to guess that it's a large number, so I believe it goes up right away to $10 or even $20. I think the wild card is that there is a deal between states and central banks to make XRP the world's bridge currency. It would be a neutral asset that central banks could trade with each other to change fiat currencies. If that happens, it's back to what we were talking about before. It needs to cover most of the money. I also think you're looking at an area where XRP would agree to settle. This would happen right away for somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin. Our lives might stay the same or change. I don't know, it might be a little different. Let's go back to the big picture, the money and XRP going over $8,000 again. Guys, pay attention to this because billions, maybe even trillions, are about to be added to the XRP ledger when Donald Trump, the President of the United States, signs a bill that lets trillions be added to the ledger. That's how this bill really works. There are trillions of dollars that can be put into the US economy and cryptocurrencies. XRP is the most popular coin in the US and is used by the Federal Reserve to make payments. One example is that Eric Trump said in public just 48 hours ago that he is very close with the founder of XRP. He also made it clear that he knows Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple XRP. Also, the Federal Reserve just got a new bill that will make their payment method more up to date. This means they are going to change and improve how they handle payments, most likely to use XRP, which is the most popular cryptocurrency in the United States. This is on top of the fact that the President of the United States of America said that only 4 cryptocurrencies, or American cryptocurrencies, will have no capital gains tax or any other kind of tax. Moreover, he directly mentioned XRP, which is a very important change. All of this is going to happen, though, just as something bigger is about to happen, and there's going to be something crazy happen. This is the $654.39 trillion that everyone is talking about. It's also set up to make a big difference in the XRP market and the XRP system. Several hundred to several $1,000s, and in fact, over $60,000 for one coin. This coin is, in fact, on the XRP ledger. But let's look into this more deeply. And it all starts with a huge company called RealFi, which we've talked about on this show. It's thought that these guys are working with Ripple. They're very big. And they just recently said that people can now use the XRP system to buy million-dollar homes in the United States, Canada, and everywhere else in North America. Picture how crazy it is. The unlocking of more than 10,000 buildings worth more than $2 billion in real estate in more than 50 places around the world, mostly in North America. The XRP system is being used, and now we'll talk about the real token, which is huge because it's on the XRP system and will make people rich. That's just my view, but it's clear that I'm very optimistic. It's at number 12 on the popular list. This is also very important. This is really important. In the past 24 hours, it's gone up 10%. Guys, look at the charts. A huge breakout is really happening, one that would make the price hit a whole new high point. Some people think that we'll probably hit $50 in the next 12 to 24 hours because there isn't much available and a lot of people want it. Of course, the real number we're looking at is over $65,000, which is only 1% of the $650 trillion that comes into the XRP record through real tokens. As if the facts were clear. Look at this. This is XRP Queen, a huge analyst who has, I think, over 100,000 fans. She also says that if just 1% of the $650 trillion global market value were turned into real tokens on the XRP system, the price would go through the roof, rising from $0.02 to $64,500. And it's all because there isn't much of it. As a starting point, the quantity is 22 million. That doesn't mean anything. Guys, take a look at this. If $100,000 worth of transactions happen every day, the value of the token will instantly jump into the hundreds of dollars, $700 or $800 from $0.02. The demand is too high for there to be enough real tokens to meet it. Because of this, the price will have to go through the roof. And that's just $100,000 worth of trades every day. It sounds crazy, but I'm not financially motivated. It's not based on money. I was just looking into it, but guys, the numbers and everything else say it. Right now, putting $10,000 into real token would actually make the price go through the roof, maybe to $5 or $10. It's crazy again, but it's because there is very little supply. This job isn't very big. It's still very early. I believe they came out about 2 or 3 months ago. Yes, it's growing very quickly. I mean, about 2 or 3 months ago. It's crazy that these guys have up to 3,000 wallets and they're not all listed on the same exchange. There isn't a big business plan. And think about what will happen when this is put on centralized exchanges. It will be seen by many. A lot of people are going to accept it and buy it, and the price is going to go through the roof. Perhaps you believe me to be crazy, but this really did happen when real coin first came out. To be clear, this thing is only about 2 months old. We've seen it live then. It went from being worth 1/100 of a penny to about 3 cents, which is crazy. People made hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars because it's very strong. It's clear that this is one of the best projects that will make people rich quickly just by looking at the charts, the facts, and the past. Once more, it all comes down to use, right? The fact that it is useful based on real assets and made on the XRP ledger makes it a real token, but it's even more than that because there isn't much of it and a lot of people want it.